This is fairly simple. We talk about standing up for the vets. Well, this bill, which is Assembly Bill 4476, really stands up for the vets. I'm happy to be here with Chris Brown, who is a vet as well. And let me make this simple. This is an opportunity for prosecutors in this state to evaluate an application by a veteran to possibly provide an alternative disposition to jail, an alternative disposition to the criminal justice system. What that means is the vet just simply provides to the prosecutor, either himself or through an attorney, hey, this is my experience. I've made a mistake here. I made a mistake for a number of different reasons that were tied into my service to this country, and I want an opportunity to have treatment versus a criminal sentence or a criminal conviction. We have a lot of alternatives like this in the criminal justice system. For example, we have a drug court for someone who is addicted to drugs, and that provides an alternative disposition to the criminal justice system. We have what's called a conditional dismissal. So if you're a first-time offender, for example, you're a high school student who was a shoplifter or had possession of small amounts of drugs, we have an alternative called conditional dismissal. It is time now to give the same alternative disposition to people who served our country. And let me introduce my good friend, an incredible assemblyman from Atlantic County who had incredible service to our country. Let me introduce the Honorable Chris Brown.
Well, as somebody who has been activated for war 2 times, I can tell you firsthand how important it is to help our veterans transition back into the communities that we all live and work in. And I also need to make sure that I point out we are blessed to have John Bramnick as our leader, because he also understands this, and he has worked so hard to make sure our veterans and our veterans' issues are priority number 1. I just want to give you a few stats, and I'll be brief because I know nobody's ever too big on stats. But 18,000 National Guard troops mobilized since 9/11 with multiple tours, 22,000 with PTSD. 44% of returning veterans will suffer from PTSD. 3,500 calls to NJ's 24-hour veteran hotline. These here in those statistics are the reason why I'm co-sponsoring this bill and honored to be part of it with our Assembly Leader, John Bramnick. Thank you.
In 40 states across America and Guam, they have veterans criminal diversion, sometimes known as veterans treatment courts. New Jersey is overdue, and Senator Van Drew has introduced a bill to start that. But we have to cast as wide a net as possible. The way this bill is structured now, too many veterans will not benefit from the $168 billion or more that the federal government, through the Department of Veterans Affairs, will bring to New Jersey to help veterans. And I stand here, and I'm humbled to do it, with a Vietnam veteran. His name is Gregory Bowles. And Gregory Bowles went to Vietnam as a 19-year-old man. And he graduated high school, and he was educated. But he wanted to make something of himself. But it turned out the only way you went out to a rice paddy at night was to get on heroin. And that was how you found enough bravery to go out there. Well, Gregory Bowles came back to New Jersey, and he was addicted. And this program didn't exist then. Gregory Bowles has cost the taxpayers and the prosecutors 20 years of confinement inside our jails and prisons. Gregory Bowles would not benefit from the current bill that is proposed, Alpha A 4362. We need to relook this bill so that men like Gregory Bowles and so many others whose name I won't mention, but Gregory Bowles is here maybe to say a few words as well. And so let's make sure we get as many New Jersey veterans as possible benefiting from the federal government dollars for inpatient drug and alcohol treatment. Gregory?
I'm from Elizabeth, New Jersey. I graduated high school 1973. I never had any kind of criminal incidents before I graduated high school and went into the military. I joined the Marines in 1974. I was sent to Vietnam in 1975 on the evacuation program. Upon that time, I was injured, rotating back to the United States, got involved in drug use. Many veterans were at that time, through mental health issues, being injured. I got involved in that kind of activity. It's cost me a lot of time in my life being incarcerated. And to make a long story short, I was able to, get involved in my during my most recent release in 2010. I finally found the VA, because as my attorney said that back in the 70s and 80s there wasn't any kind of therapeutic programs to be had. In 2010, I found Lyons VA Hospital, and that was my first introduction to mental health, therapeutic programs, housing programs. I haven't looked back since, It's been a godsend to me. I'm currently still involved with the VA. I'm in programs in East Orange VA and Lyons, both. I go there on a daily basis. Most recently, I was able to successfully complete a housing program. I have my own apartment now. I haven't been in any kind of criminal trouble like I have been in past years, and it's working for me. And I've seen the program I'm in now. I see a lot of the younger vets, the Afghan vets, the Iraqi vets. There's too many of them that's involved with drugs at an early age, and they really need the help of VA resources and through the courts if they have alternative programs. A lot of these guys are in trouble behind drugs, and they're not a waste to society. They just need the help that somebody that's reaching out a hand to help if they can. It will be a great asset. If we can do that. If we can come up with some programs that would allow them to be free of incarcerations, and so they can be a constructive member of society. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Matthew Adams. I'm a partner with the law firm Fox Rothschild, and along with Tom, I am a trustee of the Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers of New Jersey. And I'd just like to impress upon all of you that there is no segment of our population to whom we owe a bigger debt of gratitude than we do our veteran community. They sacrifice, sometimes make the ultimate sacrifice for our own liberty, only to come home to the home front and have their liberty needlessly jeopardized through interactions with the criminal justice system. And to the extent that we are able to rehabilitate veterans who find themselves coming against criminal charges, I think we ought to do it as a society because we owe it to our brave men and women who sacrifice so much for our freedoms. And from the perspective of legislation, there is a fierce urgency of now to get this right. Our veteran community deserves it. Thank you very much.
Well, with the consent of my co-prime sponsor, I would like to rename this bill the Greg Bowles bill, and from now on, going forward, we're going to name this, if that's okay with you.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely, because I think you'd be the best spokesman for the bill.